Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday. I I typically am a very slower moving person on Sunday, but yesterday I was like under the spell of sleepy hypnosis. So today I'm happily back in movement, and I wanted to share a little bit of like stop drop yoga with y'all. So I keep thinking about chair pose, but let's just do the warm up into chair pose and see how far we go. Because sometimes just a half lift is good. Sometimes forward fold is great. And sometimes getting into the chair pose is also great. But I'll be honest, it's not something that I practice a lot. And coming out of winter, I almost always find in these past, 6 or so years, 7 years, 8 years, who's counting? That I always have a slower down period. The yoga that I practice during the colder winter months, it's much more slow. And then I start to want to be stronger in my body. So I'll start doing my upside down again and even more stability strengthening poses like chair pose. And so let's just get into it. We're gonna come first into like a stable standing mountain pose. You want your feet to be nice and parallel with the mat. That means the flattest edge, the line of your foot is aligned to the edge of the mat, almost like two lines like in the middle of the road. And the width apart is about 2 fists. You want to think that they're lined up under ears, hip points, and then big toes are down there, you know? That's just the general reach. A little bit wider if that's better, but you don't want so much closer because you're going to lose the stability that this shape requires. So at least 2 fists apart, feet parallel to the mat. Lift the toes, press the toes, lift the heels, sort of back and forth, sway. And then do the edges, left and right. Sort of mound your feet into the floor or mat where you're standing. Let your legs and heels start to press in the mat. I always like to warm things as I'm going. I'm never a person that's just like it, so I like to kind of bend my knees and breathe them as I'm pressing my legs and feet into the mat. I'm going to start pressing big toe, second, third, fourth, little baby toe, all into the mat. Another little bend, pressing more, and I'm going to start squeezing my shins together and reaching them down into the mat. This is where you start feeling the strength in a mountain pose. And unless you're doing these things, you're just standing there like this, So pressing the toes, pressing the heels, pressing the shins, warming the knees, pulling the ankles together, like hugging those shins, hugging your shins together. Feeling strength in your thighs and lean forward just a little bit like you're trying to poke your belly button out. And then straighten the spine up again. Take the shoulders, reach them up to your ears, and then let them sort of fall back and open. And even do that a couple times. And then find stillness in your shoulders. Let your arms reach down to the floor. Take a nice slow breath in. Fill the belly and soften the jaw as you exhale. Let the legs be strong. Let the arms be softer. Let the face and the mind, the tongue and the jaw be the softest. So stronger, less strong, softer, even softer still. And just breathe into this pose for a minute. Let your fingers reach down to the ground or mat. Every breath in, feel the breath and the chest rise, and then exhale, soften, softening the face, eyes, forehead, every part of that part of your body a little more with each breath. And then we're just going to start moving a little bit into a half lift. So again, I like to always warm the knees a little. We're going to sweep the arms up so they're parallel facing each other, like almost like a clap. Now we're going to just take the knees and do a little bend. Almost like, I guess, like a skiing, like shoom, Keep the arms nice and straight. Here's where you want to try and keep the arms and the back nice and straight, like a line. You know what I mean? This sort of requires you to bring your head and neck, not squeezily, freely between the two, and even surrender your heart forward more so that you can reach into that line. Don't do it if it doesn't feel good though. Again, we're just kind of reaching in a half lift, warming the knees, bringing the arms up. So do that a couple times, squatting the knees, pressing the big toes a lot when you're doing that. And this is something that I'm always gonna say. Even with your feet firmly planted, most of the time you're gonna be in a good alignment. But let's just always remember, when you're in that bend, reaching the knee toward the pinky toe is your friend. That's always gonna ensure that the ligaments and the muscles that support the knee and the weight of your body on that are in their strongest, empowered place for you to not have an injury. And this is never a place to incur an injury. Not that you should ever have it anywhere, but definitely not here. So bending, bending, warming, and just practicing sweeping the arms a little. And then once you feel like you've kind of done that a few moments, stand back up one more time. Lift the feet, spread the feet. Come back into a nice, sturdy, firm, planted into the feet stance. Take a nice big breath in, exhale it away. This looks very subtle, but if you're activating all the muscles, you can feel it warming the fire, you know? So now here, it's a little bend in the knees, sweep the arms up, and just fold the spine into a half lift, as much as you can. And here, sometimes it feels nice to press into the thighs and support the spine, even stretch. You can even stretch your spine a little bit. I'm a big fan of always gently shaking my head down. Now, I'm not letting my head fall, but I'm just gently with my nose pendulum left and right in this half lift. If it feels good and like a good stretch for you to have the arms up, do that. And then bring the arms down to the knees and reach down to the floor if you can with the fingertips. Sending the bum higher, straightening the legs a little bit, keeping the bend there as much as you can to get the floor. If you can reach it with your fingertips, try to go a little bit lower, bending the knees more if need be, to touch the floor with both palms. If you can do that, try to surrender the head. Keep the knees bent so much. Shake your head now. And then looking with your eyes, bring your hands closer to your feet, walking the hands up the body. Help yourself stand up, up, up. And just come back into your stable stance one more time. Big breath in, and then exhale that away. From here, big breath in, toes, big toes pressing into the mat. Sweep the arms up, up, up. Keep the spine, the back, the arms, the legs, all in a nice long line for a moment. Thinking just to the hips. Maybe a little bend in the knees, you decide. It's never a bad idea. You can always straighten. But a little bend maybe, perhaps. Arms nice and long, and just thinking to the hips. Start to hinge, hinge, hinge. Slowly, 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 until you feel your edge pressing into the big toes so much. Whether you're here or here, wherever you are in your half lift, hold that for a breath. Hands at the thighs are just as great. Taking a breath in, exhaling that away. Try to soften the face as you exhale your breath. And then start to bend the knees a little. Start to sweep, sweep, sweep the arms back up, up, up above the head. And then bring the hands down at prayer in front of the heart center for just a moment. Let a nice big breath come in and go. And if you're still with me, let's try chair pose one time. Don't judge me. I remember the first time I tried to do wheel pose, and I laughed at myself so hard, and only thing I could think of was, whoa, flat as tire. But I can actually do that now. So, you know, it's something to play with. There's no judgment, there's no rule, there's no mark other than the one that you give yourself, and you can always edit that to feel better and feel better. So having said that, sweep the arms up, up, up one more time. Bend the knees a lot. Start to sit the bum back like there's an invisible chair. Keeping those arms nice and straight, pressing into the big toes. Looking nice and forward for balance. And pretend there's a chair back there. That's all we're gonna do. Imagine energy between the hands. Big toes press a lot, a lot, a lot. And then sweep the arms up, up, up. Stand the body up, hands down at prayer. Whew. It's really fiery in there. One more time. Let's sweep the arms up, up, up. Looking with the forward those pinky toes, bend, bend, bend. Slip the bum back, back, back. Looking with the eyes, looking between the hands, like through those fingers, almost like a runway. You can even bring them down and then sweep them back up again if you like. Sinking deep into your invisible seat, pressing into the pinkies a lot, and then sweep back up, up, up. Hands down at prayer, take a breath. Walk it out in your legs. Inhale big in the belly and exhale with a sigh. One more time, nice big sigh. And just let your breathing sort to calm down. Swaying in the body if that feels good. Gently lifting, slow left, right steps. Pressing the toes, each one by one into the mat. Feeling the body calm down, down, down. Calming down the feet. Calming down the shins and the knees. Calming down the hips, the belly, the heart, the lungs, the spine. Calming down the arms, calming down the fingers, calming down, down, down into the neck, calming down the jaw, calming down the eyes across the face and nose, calming down the ears, calming down the forehead, calming down the crown, all the way back down, calming down, down, down. And just breathe and be in your body for a moment. And before we wrap it up, I always like to say into myself, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thanks for sharing a few minutes with me. Let me know how that goes and how far you got into chair pose. If you want to share pictures or a snip of the video, I'm super into it. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.